Hi everybody, this is Mr. RB. Today I'm going to show you how to draw the letter G, turn it into a bubble letter, and then turn that into a three-dimensional letter using one-point perspective. To start, I'm going to take my pencil and my straight edge and create a horizon line high up on my paper. I'm putting it high because I want to make it feel like the G is down on the ground and we're looking down on it and it's at about knee or foot level. There's my horizon line. This separates the sky from the ground. It's also the same thing as our eye level. Everything, including our G that's below, we're looking down on. It's below our eyes. Everything above, birds, ceilings, clouds, those would be above our eye level and we're looking up at them. So, next, I will add our one vanishing point. I'm putting mine way over on the left-hand side of our horizon line. I could have put it anywhere along this line. It does need to be on the horizon line. I put mine on the left for today. Now I need to draw my bubble letter G. All right, I'm going to start by drawing what looks like a C and then goes in. And there's a basic G. It's a line letter, it's not a bubble letter. To make it a bubble letter, I'm going to add a vertical down to that horizontal along that curve, and I'm going to just curve around and out. There's a G. Nothing too fancy. You are welcome to try different sorts of G's, but I'm just doing a basic G like that. Now I need to add the lines to make it seem three-dimensional. To do this, I'm going to use my vanishing point. I put my pencil on my vanishing point, my straight edge on my pencil, and I'm going to pivot just like in basketball until I touch the side of my G. Oh, there you go. I just touched it. Now I'm going to come down and create a line that goes right into the side of my letter G. I need to do the same thing for the top. I put my pencil on my vanishing point. My straight edge pivots, pivot, 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 until it touches that letter G, and I'm going to come straight over, drawing lightly. So I just touched that G. Notice how this edge curves. I want to create a curve edge connecting these two lines back here. How do I get the right curve? Here's a little trick that I've started using, and see if this helps you as well. I'm going to draw a series of, say, half-inch long lines. It doesn't matter what length, as long as they're about the same. Starting at the letter and pointing towards the vanishing point. Whoop, pivot the ruler, and I'm just going to go there. I want to make each of the lines about the same length. This will help me get my curve to come out in a way that mimics or is very similar to the edge on the original bubble letter. And I do want them to match. Ooh, that surprised me. All right, so I have all these lines going here. Now I'm just going to connect the ends. And that connects. I keep this piece over here. I keep this piece over here. Notice that once I get those segments darker, I no longer need the rest of that original work line. Yeah, I'm just going to erase that right out of there. Now I have this side here, and I'm going to add a little tone to it to make it stand out so it separates from the front or the original bubble letter G. I think that makes it a little easier to see. I also noticed that I'm not happy with this space here. I feel like I missed something. I feel like this needs to come down a little more, and this needs to come out from here a little more. But I'll fix that. You can adjust things. If it really isn't looking quite right, it's pencil. You can adjust. It's your work. And in the end, this is visual art. We need it to look right. Sometimes we can have a lot of rules about how to do things, but then we also need to look and go, yeah, but is it working? Does it make sense? Sometimes it's good to check with someone else and say, hey, when you're looking at this, what are you noticing? What are you seeing? Hey, there's that part. Now I'm not done. I've done this part of the G. I need to get the sides down over here for the rest of the G. I'm going to put my pencil back on my vanishing point, ruler on the pencil, and I'm going to connect to that corner and make a line. I could draw a really long line, but I only needed to make as long as those lines I made on the top of the G were. So I'm going to make it about that long. I'm going to do the two top edges here. I'm going to remember that this is pretty much a horizontal, so I'm going to float that up a little and connect with another horizontal. Again, I can add a little tone to help separate it from the bubble letter side. I've got the top, now I need the side. I'm going to put my pencil on the corner, pivot, make that line. I know that this was a vertical, so I know this one needs to be a vertical. I'm going to put my ruler right there. If it's, oh look, that's slightly off. I think that's slightly diagonal. Not a problem. I'm just going to slide it sideways till I hit that upper corner and draw down. Get rid of the extra tails, those line bits. Now, you might think that we are done, but I fear we are not quite done. Almost. We have this lower section here, and I should be able to see something of that, the top of that lower section in here. How much? We're going to use that same line length that we created up at the top and reused over here. Let's put our pencil down in that curve. Notice I pivoted the straight edge until it connects with the vanishing point. And I'm going to make another one of those little lines. And I'm going to repeat repeatedly. Ooh, that one just goes right off. Okay, now I have a couple lines to help me. I'm going to come down and up. Ah, there we go. Notice I'm trying to curve my lines. I want to use curving lines because that's a curving shape, and curved lines will help give the feeling of curved shape. I'm darkening that in. Let's see if that works. I think the only problem I have is, the big problem I have is this color and this color seem close, but I think they're different enough. I think I'll make this one a little darker to give put a thicker coat of the pencil on. Yep. Just gives a little more drama. Makes it easier to see. The contrast makes it easier to read. I'm going to let the top be a little lighter because it's facing a different direction. That side curves around because it's a curving shape. Here you go, one letter G. Want a little shadow on the ground? We're not really talking about shadow in this series in terms of shadow on the ground. There are ways we could figure out exactly where that should go and what shape and how far, but we're just going to leave that for another day. I'm just going to get a little bit of tone so it feels like the G is casting some sort of shadow there. Oops. erased out part that I needed. And oh, I made a mess of that line. Good thing I can redraw it. At this point, you can be done and it's a pencil drawing, or you could add colored pencil and polka dots and peace symbols and flowers and draw things around that start with the letter G, or just about anything. It could become part of another word with other letters. Anyhow, enjoy and have fun with it.